Proposed NFL blockbuster trade has Cowboys land four-time Pro Bowl running back. One trade proposal has the Dallas Cowboys landing Cleveland Browns star running back Nick Chubb. The Dallas Cowboys need help at running back, even if owner Jerry Jones refuses to admit to this reality. Cowboys fans would undoubtedly love to see Cleveland Browns star running back Nick Chubb wearing a star on his helmet. Dallas has until Tuesday, November 5, 2024, to make a deal when the NFL trade deadline strikes. The Athletic's Jeff Howe offered a trade proposal that has the Cowboys acquiring Chubb in a blockbuster deal with the Browns. Dallas sends a 2025 third-rounder and a sixth-round pick to Cleveland in exchange for Chubb. The Athletic estimates this move would increase the Cowboys' playoff chances by 3%, from 23% to 26%. Not exactly the kind of move that has the Cowboys shopping for Super Bowl rings, but it would at least be a start at improving the team's roster. The Cowboys are last in rushing yards, touchdowns, and yards per attempt, Howe wrote in an October 23, 2024, story titled, 6 NFL Trades We'd Like to See, Max Crosby to Lions, Nick Chubb to Cowboys. Why? Because they're 30th in attempts. They don't have the personnel, and Mike McCarthy hasn't shown a lot of commitment to the ground game. Being completely out of balance has led to 3 of their games getting out of hand early. Chubb has the star power team owner Jerry Jones covets. Although it's a risk with Chubb just getting back from a huge knee injury, the reward could be massive if Chubb closes the season as a top 10 back. Would the Cowboys consider trading for Nick Chubb? It is the kind of move that would prove Dallas is not simply punting on this season. The Cowboys remained quiet throughout the offseason and opted to pass on taking a running back in the 2024 NFL Draft. There are some potential red flags for Dallas to consider before acquiring Chubb. The star will be a free agent in 2025 and has a $6.2 million cap hit in 2024. Chubb was sidelined to start the season after undergoing his second reconstructive knee surgery. The star has played in a combined 3 games over the last 2 seasons. Chubb posted 11 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown in his first game of the season in Week 8. Trading for a player coming off a significant injury who is also headed towards free agency could prove to be a risky move for Dallas. Chubb has quite the resume as a 4-time Pro Bowler. The Planker had posted 4 straight seasons topping 1,000 rushing yards before injuries derailed the last 2 years. Jones has repeatedly indicated the Cowboys do not plan to make a major midseason move. For now, it looks like the Cowboys will lean on Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott with Dalvin Cook as another potential option. During the team's bye week, Jones took exception to being asked questions about the team's roster. "This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it," Jones remarked during an October 15 interview with 105.3 The Fans' Sean and RJ. "That's not your job. I'll get somebody else to ask these questions." I'm not kidding. You're not going to figure it out what the team is doing right or wrong. Dallas Cowboys suffer season-ending knee injury in practice. John Stevens Jr. will miss the remainder of the season after suffering a knee injury during the Dallas Cowboys' Wednesday afternoon practice. The Dallas Cowboys return to practice on Wednesday as the team ramps up its preparation for the San Francisco 49ers in Week 8 of the 2024 NFL regular season. Unfortunately for tight end John Stevens Jr., it is the last time he will see the field in pads this season. According to Todd Archer of ESPN.com, Stevens suffered a season-ending knee injury during Wednesday afternoon's practice. Stevens suffered a torn ACL in his left knee. It is the same knee and injury that forced Stevens to miss last season. He will undergo surgery to repair his knee. It's an unfortunate setback for Stevens, who signed with the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent after the 2023 NFL Draft. Stevens was projected to make the 53-man roster but suffered a torn ACL in the second preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. Cowboys blockbuster trade proposal nets 1,000-yard rusher. The Dallas Cowboys are among worst rushing offenses in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys had the bye week to lick their wounds after suffering a beatdown at the hands of the Detroit Lions, but as the team prepares to return to the field of play against the San Francisco 49ers next Sunday, the same problems remain. One of the biggest issues is that Dallas has fielded the worst team rushing attack in the NFL through 6 weeks, racking up just 463 yards on the season on a meager 3.4 yards per carry, and clearly needs an upgrade to elevate the backfield tandem of Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott if it hopes to balance the offense. Bradley Locker of Pro Football Focus on Tuesday, October 22, authored a fairy tale trade proposal that would see the Cowboys deal for Travis Etienne Jr. of the struggling Jacksonville Jaguars to address the run game. What should be a playoff-caliber roster is now a disjointed team, and that likely means pieces will be moved. Jacksonville sits 8th in rushing EPA per play, in part due to the breakout of Tank Bigsby, whose 82.5 rushing grade ranks 9th among players with 50-plus carries. In turn, Etienne could be expendable. A team that would love adding a player like Etienne is the Cowboys. Dallas' rushing game has been woeful all season, ranking 29th in team rushing grade with the second fewest explosive rushes in the NFL. Etienne topped 1,000 yards rushing in each of his first 2 NFL seasons and has scored 18 career rushing TDs across 40 games played. The Dallas Cowboys have a poor running game. Anyone with an IQ roughly in the double digits can see that. After eschewing both a veteran like Derrick Henry and a draft pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, Dallas' backfield consists of the declining Ezekiel Elliott and the wholly average Rico Dowdle in featured roles. While Dallas needs to find an adequate number 2 wide receiver behind CeeDee Lamb and a run-stuffing defensive tackle, the biggest issue facing this team is the fact they can't run the ball to save their lives. Everything is solely on the arm of quarterback Dak Prescott, which is an unwise strategy this season. The Cowboys may end up making a trade for a running back, even if the market is quite thin right now. If Jerry Jones has a quick enough trigger finger, they could land a player who has fallen out of his team's starting lineup in what Pro Football Focus is calling a fairy tale trade for Dallas. PFF singled out Jacksonville Jaguars running back Travis Etienne as a possible Cowboys trade candidate. With his rookie contract up soon and Dallas not obliged to commit to him for a few years, Dallas and Etienne could use each other to boost the Clemson star's value while beefing up the overall running game. Cowboys connected to trade for Jaguars RB Travis Etienne. Etienne, who missed his rookie year due to injury, has piled up over 1,000 yards rushing and 1,400 yards from scrimmage in each of his first 2 seasons with the Jaguars. His chemistry with former college teammate Trevor Lawrence helped boost the Jags' offense, but he is fizzling out behind a suspect Jacksonville offensive line. While Bigsby is clearly the more powerful north-south runner of the two, Etienne still has tremendous speed and breakaway potential when he isn't in a rudimentary scheme. Lawrence has his moments, but Prescott is still an upgrade, and the threat of Dak chucking it downfield could open things up for Etienne on the ground. This would be bad news for Dowdle, as he may be more likely to lose a high percentage of his workload if Elliott is able to become an effective short yardage back. Etienne, meanwhile, would become the new RB1. Behind Dallas' offensive line, which is better than Jacksonville's unit, his production could return to 2024 levels. Etienne by himself is not going to fix all of the Cowboys' problems, but it seems like he is still the best available running back on the market if Arizona is keen on making a push with James Conner as the quarterback. Etienne's dynamic style would give Dallas the juice they've been missing.